your girl, the Sweet Physique, and I am back to check in with you guys, see how you're doing, just kind of see what's been going on. I do have a topic that I want to discuss that's near and dear to my heart, something that I've kind of touched on in other segments, but never really just truly had a segment dedicated to this topic. And it's just something that like I said, it's precious to me. It's near and dear to my heart. With that being said, the concept of it takes a village to raise a child. I've heard that concept all my life. You know, I understood what the concept meant, but obviously it didn't resonate with me personally or really like hit home for me until I had a child. And I say that too because it's like, it really does take a village to raise a child, no matter what your situation is. You know, you can be the most financially stable person in the world. You can have the best setup, you know, where, you know, you can work certain hours that you put together, how you put it together. You know, you can literally, you know, have that two-parent revolving door where it's like there's always someone available to watch your child, whether it's mom or dad, whatever the situation is. You know, you could have planned for the child, but I just feel like, in my opinion, no matter how financially stable you are, no matter how much planning you did, no matter what you did to put yourself in the best position as possible, you could have been that auntie that helped raise all their nieces and nephews like their own, that big sis, big bro that really just raised their siblings. But it's just something when it's your own child. It just hits this much different when it's your own child and you're literally responsible for them from womb on out. And even in situations like this is not to take away from, you know, single parents that are grinding and getting it on their own. They may not have the option of a village, but it's possible to do without a village. Best believe. That's not what I'm saying. But also best believe those parents need a break. That's where that village is helpful. Those parents could use a backup. You know, parenting is not meant to do by yourself. You know, that's why it takes two people to make a baby. And I'm not saying you can't be an awesome parent on your own, but everybody needs that me time. Everybody needs that break from being a parent, because you're not just a parent. You were a person before you were a parent. And that's when that village really is helpful, where you can tag somebody in and help you be you for a couple of hours a day, a weekend, whatever it needs to be, so that you can mentally reset and do something for yourself and live your life. Personally, for me, you know, I didn't see my life or, you know, what, you know, my story unfolding the way that it did. Like, when I pictured how my life is going to be, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be married, I'm going to have, you know, kids probably in my 30s, because I wanted to get my career established. I wanted to buy a home. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do all this. Don't get me wrong, I checked off all those boxes except I wasn't married. And that kind of was like, I thought I would have been married first, because that's how I pictured my life unfolding. But don't get me wrong, that not happening did not take away from the joy that I have of being this little girl's mommy. Like, life literally will life will take a hold of your plan and be like, this is what you thought was going to happen, but however, this is how it's actually going to unfold. And there's nothing wrong with that, because life will throw you curveballs. Life will literally put this little sprinkle of this situation in here that you didn't anticipate on having to, you know, deal with or make concessions for. But it's how you handle that and how you move forward and keep it pushing. It's okay to fall in life. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to have to reroute your plan or your thought, because kids change everything. They really do. You would have had particular, being a single mom, especially in my situation because dad lives out of state, it really did fall on me physically to have to do a lot. And that's when my village came into play. You know, I'm like, okay, I can depend on my mom, my dad, you know, his family's very, very helpful as well. So they really do step in and do a lot to help me. I don't know where I would honestly be without my village. It's just so many moving parts that really you have to consider when you do have a child, and making sure that you have that village, if possible, in place to help you. Now, I do have to say though, you do have to strategically have certain people in place to help you, because just because you're family or just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean that's an appropriate source of help for this particular situation. Doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just may not be the best fit for what you need as far as raising a child. So keep that in mind too, with who you strategically want to put in your village, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to take a burden off of you, not add a burden to you. And I've seen situations where, yeah, you're family with somebody, but they're actually adding stress to your life, not helping you. And we don't need stress added to our lives. We already have enough going on as is. Also, with that being said, make sure that you really thank your village. Let them know that you appreciate them. And I was thinking like, dang, you know, what can I do to really show my village that I appreciate them? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm really not the toast person. Like if my friends get married, don't ask me to give a speech, please. I don't want to do that. I that's just not me, the overly mushy gushy person with words. I'm more of like a doer. So the idea that I had in my head to show them that I appreciate them, and when I say them, I have a lot of people that do help me, but like the people that I rely on the most is my mom and dad and his mom. So I had what I called a village appreciation dinner. And with that being said, I just set up a really nice dinner where I cooked for them, told them to be at my house at a certain time. I had, of course, as the treat lady, made some treats. And then I found out what everybody's favorite smell good, well, I knew my parents' smell good was, but I found out what his mom's favorite smell good was. Ordered everybody's cologne and perfume. Wrapped it up like in a nice pretty bag, you know, got cards for everybody, wrote like a little message inside of it. The card was like beyond grateful on the front, and I just had an evening that was dedicated to them. And I did give a 2.5 second speech. I was like, glad this is over, I'm not a speech person, but I did give a little speech just basically telling them what the purpose of the dinner was and how they've been very impactful on my life. And that really went a long way with them, because everybody deserves to know how they positively impact your life and when they are doing something that is helpful for you. So with that being said, definitely it takes a village to raise a child. Strategically place people in your village that you are going to choose to rely on to help you, that don't add stress but take the burden off of you. And then finally, yes, when you can, in your own individual way that's comfortable for you, let them know that you do appreciate what they're doing to help you, and that they are helping you. Some people wonder if they're helping you or not. So let them know that they are helping you, and that you are very appreciative of their contribution and how they are making an impact on your life. So definitely, like I said, it takes a village to raise a child, and just let your village know what they mean to you. Talk to y'all later.